During the 1960s, transportation departments began building facilities called safety rest areas that were intended to alleviate driver fatigue and serve basic needs of travelers. Now, throughout the United States, rest areas are located along the interstate system. Most of these facilities are owned and operated by state governments and provide a safe place for parking and restroom use, as well as services like traveler information, vending, and areas to walk pets. Today, Iowa's interstate system has 38 full-service rest areas and 16 parking-only sites maintained by the Department of Transportation. Although travelers in Iowa appreciate the convenience these resting spots provide, when we balance other needs on the system that are of higher priority, continuing to maintain all of the state's current facilities has become unsustainable long-term. In addition, services along the interstate have changed greatly over the years, and many alternative service locations like truck stops, gas stations, and restaurants have opened that also provide needed services to travelers. Between 2012 and 2016, the Iowa DOT has looked at the number of rest areas we maintain, their location, how much they were being used, who is using them, and improvements that will likely be needed. These factors were used to develop a statewide rest area management plan for the future. This plan helps us target future investments at each location, given limited resources. As a result, we are recommending improvements for high-use rest areas and closures for those that are used less that will require costly updates and maintenance. We know that travelers appreciate the convenience and services offered by rest areas, so we are carefully considering our recommendations. As part of our study, over 759 surveys were collected from rest area users across the state. This helped us learn what services and amenities the public values. In addition, 24-hour traffic counts were conducted at each facility to help us identify high and lower use rest areas and parking needs of those users. For cars, we found that the number of parking spaces is sufficient during peak times. However, truck parking often exceeded the number of available parking spaces during peak overnight hours. We evaluated each full-service rest area site based on a variety of factors, including spacing between rest areas, usage, truck parking demand and availability, facility age, services provided, any unique features of the rest area, and other 24-hour alternative service locations available near that location. Each rest area was scored based on these factors and then ranked for prioritized investment. As a result of this study, along with input from the public, the Iowa DOT is considering closing 11 full-service rest areas and 16 parking-only rest areas over the next 30 years. This will help focus future investments on the remaining rest area locations and better balance funding priorities. While we are planning a phased closure of suggested sites, we also intend to ensure that remaining rest areas are adequate in size and services to meet the needs of the traveling public. We will make sure that the services that rest areas provide will be available within approximately 1 hour's drive time or less, and will be coordinated with rest areas in neighboring states. We understand that adequate truck parking is an important part of accommodating freight travel throughout the state. It is important to note that our studies have shown that most of the truck parking at parking-only sites is underutilized during peak hours. Therefore, we are considering closure of all parking-only sites over 5 years. With the potential closure of 11 full-service rest areas and those 16 parking-only sites, approximately 279 authorized truck parking spaces would be removed. With a phased approach to rest area closures, removal of spaces will happen over time. In addition, we are actively working on a plan to accommodate those spaces at other locations throughout the system. As we plan for the future, our strategies to more efficiently address truck parking needs will consider more than just adding spaces at adjacent rest areas and way stations that are regularly monitored and maintained. They will include things like communicating real-time parking availability to commercial drivers, development of a targeted interstate oasis program, and continued evaluation of the impact of automated vehicle technologies on truck parking needs. In addition to parking considerations, as we plan for the future, funding for rest areas will consider improvements to accommodate needs of law enforcement, additional ways to disseminate information to travelers to help them make more informed decisions about their trip, and the potential for public-private partnerships. If recommended closures are implemented, the remaining 26 full-service locations will serve a greater public benefit and can be adequately maintained with available resources. As stewards of the transportation system in Iowa, we understand the importance of keeping the traveling public moving while balancing limited resources. Sites recommended for closure would remain open until they reach an age where it is anticipated that a significant investment would be needed to improve the structure. This study of the rest area system has provided the DOT with valuable information regarding future needs and how the system can change in a phased approach to adapt to those needs. We would like your input as well. Please review the Rest Assured Rest Area Management Plan and let us know how our recommendations might impact your travel in Iowa. As we implement changes to the rest area system over time, our commitment to keeping you moving safely and efficiently will remain unchanged.